thing, but it's fine because not all drow are willing or wanting to follow that less than noble nature. There are quite a few drow who will, resist their evil nature, and there is even one or two drow that will succeed on resisting that evil nature. However, it is still their nature. It is still something which is natural to them as a species. And if the players are not careful, they will find themselves victim of the Drow's evil plans, as it were. More so than they already unwittingly are. Well, plant the seeds. Thank you. More so than the players already unwittingly are. As I mentioned, it is the Drow's fault that the tavern has access to the Omnipresence drink. None of the players are aware of this, nor are the players aware of why. There are a few different things that the players are capable of investigating. The players are able to investigate certain things in order to uncover certain truths, be they hidden truths or honest truths. The world has yet to reveal these things. But the fact of the matter is that the Drow Noble is poisoning the water supply entirely on accident because of their experimenting, which is attempting to create a drow poison from substitute materials. There has been some research performed on this matter in the context of things which violate the Geneva Convention. Kidnapping, murder, that type of stuff. Torture, the usual. Standard stuff which usually violates any Geneva Convention Accords, as is normal for D&D. If you don't have a campaign where at least one Geneva Convention Accord has been violated, you're probably not quite playing D&D right or with the right people. This is a very powerful bow. And there's the curse, as it were, for killing the leader. There we go. Rang the bell for what it was worth. You may notice I don't have the particle effects on me. This is specifically because I have gone out of my way to make sure that the particle effects do not render in, because they were getting kind of annoying. I suppose I should put this away. And then I should probably additionally put this away. Yeah, I'm just gonna disenchant this book because I'm gonna be honest, I don't want a Curse of Vanishing book. Therefore, I'm just gonna disenchant it. Can't do anything about the Curse of Vanishing, but I got the experience out of it for its enchantments. Now, I can take this book, and I can just plop it against the cactus. There we go. We have a book taken care of that had Curse of Vanishing and no longer does. We removed the enchantments from it for the experience, and then we broke the item because it was cursed with Curse of Vanishing. If you're not familiar with Curse of Vanishing specifically is the enchantment where if you die, you lose the item. Now, we have a lovely opportunity here to make use of some of this milk. We can actually drink milk to remove this bad omen effect. Now, you can see I have 97 minutes left on Bad Omen. However, if I drink the milk, Bad Omen went away. Just like that. When you first get Bad Omen, you get it for, I believe it's either 99 or 100 minutes. This is specifically an effect which only affects you if you wander into the into an active village. If you wander into the radius of an active village, then the Bad Omen effect will trigger, causing your Bad Omen effect to go away as a raid starts on the village. It is possible to utilize this type of effect to great benefit as you contain the opponents. If you set up a village near an outpost, you can turn the outpost into a villager raid farm. You can get totems of undying, you can get all the emeralds that you need, pretty much anything that you want for long-term survival. I do not currently have any totems of undying, therefore it would kind of be really beneficial if I were to actually visit a raid farm. Problem is I would have to build a raid farm because I am on single-player survival, or survival single-player. SSP is the common acronym. I additionally have a Patreon page set up. If you wish to give me money, if you wish to get your name added to a list of random names which I will select from whenever I rename my axolotls, I will look up my Patreon pledge drive members and see who has actually donated money and see who oh, well, that's just cruel. That is cruel and unusual punishment. Okay, well, a Curse of Vanishing bow. breaking 3, lure 3. Okay, well, that is an entirely pointless fishing rod. Now let's take this Curse of Vanishing Bow, just place it on the cactus there. We're specifically doing that to anything that has Curse of Vanishing, because we just don't like things disappearing when we die. You know, it's a curse, we don't want to be cursed, therefore we're not letting ourselves get cursed. I looked away for a brief moment, and it was at that moment that the fish nibbled on the line. Okay, now we can make some real progress here, because we're using our god tier fishing rod. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. There will be a few different things which the players can investigate. Oh, there goes my top. My shirt busted open because my dumb behind walked into a cactus. Just focus for a brief moment whilst harvesting all of my kelp here. As you can tell, my oxygen is cutting it decently close. A little closer than most people enjoy when they're underwater. Namely, anyone who enjoys breathing. Yep. Okay. That goes in, that goes in, that goes in, that goes in. Now I just take the fast route down, run over here, hop in the bed. Before the moon gets too high. Oh, wow. Exactly a full stack. Okay. there is a lot of dried kelp here. More importantly, there is more than enough dried kelp here to fuel this furnace, which is why I should restock its fuel. Double tap there in order to, collect all of the items into one spot. Craft another 7 blocks of kelp. Okay. I am getting a decent stockpile of fish to eat, which is good because I had started using my chicken, and I will tell you this, the chicken takes forever to replenish. Okay, well, this is just gonna sit over here for a while. If it despawns, it despawns. I'm not too worried about it. It's a curse of vanishing fishing rod. Riptide 3, huh? I suppose I can merge that into my impaling trident. Let's see. I'm thinking that the wisdom dish will likely be something to deal with possibly... I was thinking maybe something to deal with nachos. However, I think I'll avoid using the nachos for anything too Dwarven related, because I think I know a perfect ability score to utilize as being benefited by nachos, and that is the ability score of Sleight of Hand. Specifically the skill of Sleight of Hand. Simply because of the pun, which is, nachos. In reality, I'm not very supportive of the whole idea of theft. Magic tricks are one thing, but I don't like stealing. Stealing makes me angry. because theft is just bad for any neighborhood, really. It's really bad. It's not healthy for the neighborhood. It actually brings the average income level down by quite a ways, because, if you're sitting there selling a, $200 item for $50, not only does the person have to spend $50 to get it from you, but whoever you took it from has to spend another $200 to replace it. And then, of course, the official developers don't get any money because, they're included in that 200. The people who work very hard programming the entire thing don't get any money. The people who work very hard designing the entire thing don't get any money. Taxes are a factor. Like, there is so much that happens when you steal something from someone. And we haven't even gotten to the point where we discuss, like, how it affects the way people value the item. We're just discussing, like, the basics. What is it that happens when this happens? That's what we're discussing. And that alone is part of the reason why gentrification gets such a bad response from people. Because gentrification is good for the territory in which it happens. The problem is that the territories have a tendency to be filled with bad people. And gentrification for them means they need to move because they're not making enough money to actually, afford everything. And it's like, well, maybe if you would be making enough money to actually competitively compete with, your expenses, then perhaps you would actually have enough money to, live here. If the town wasn't full of thieves, then you'd have enough money to live here. Problem is, the property values are absolutely crap, which means nobody's wanting to pay you a decent wage because they all think that living there is extremely cheap. And the reason living there is so cheap is because everyone's stealing from everyone else. Someone new shows up in town, all of a sudden they're out $500 because various people stole from them. And it's like, well, that's not good. That's just $500 that's just missing from the economy. They gotta pay taxes twice for the same items. They gotta pay double for the same items. Why? Because they were stolen from. It's like, well, that's not good. That's not nice. That's bad. That's a terrible thing. Why would anyone want that? It makes no sense. It's nonsense. Theft is bad. There are a lot of things that are moderately tolerable. Theft should not be one of them. There is a reason that in the Middle East, the punishment for theft is they put your hand on the table, they take a machete out, and then they chop off your hand at the wrist. That is the punishment for theft in the Middle East. I actually quite like that punishment because it really does make people think twice about whether or not they want to steal. You know, if you're going to rob someone, is it worth losing your hand? Like, the entire hand. Thumb, pinky, index finger, ring finger, middle finger, palm. You know, you'll have no hand. Is it really worth losing your hand because you wanted to steal his Nintendo 64 or his Xbox 360 or his Xbox One or his PS5 or his laptop? You know, it's a lot less understandable in situations where it was like they stole a loaf of bread. It's like, okay, well, chopping off their hand for that is really extreme. But if the value goes above a certain point, like, yeah, I'm totally in favor of chopping off a person's hand because, honestly, it is just better for the community if the thief was quite noticeable, or at the very least no longer desiring to try again on, stealing something. It would definitely get rid of a lot of kleptomania, because people are always going, oh, well, I'm a kleptomaniac. It's like, yeah, well, now you're a kleptomaniac with one less hand. Now how much of a kleptomaniac are you? Bet it's a lot less, Bet you're not as much of a kleptomaniac anymore, are you? Because now you're going to have a difficult time wiping your butt or clapping. Why? Because you tried to be a kleptomaniac and you ended up getting your hand chopped off because of it. There are certain limits to what can be considered useful and what can be considered good. Stealing, not one of the things that's considered good. That being said, a D&D game is decent for simulating the results or byproducts of having people who are kleptomaniacs or thieves or rogues or whatever you want to call them. D&D is good for simulating how the world reacts to bad people. And half of the simulation is usually the player characters being heroes as they take down the big bad evil guy. If the player characters aren't taking down the big bad evil guy and maybe instead joining the big bad evil guy, then that's fine too. But at the same time, you got to be careful of that type of stuff, because if the players get too carried away with what they're allowed to do, then you're going to find yourself basically fighting an uphill battle as you try to figure out how to deal with all of these, bad, toxic people. Now, that's not to say that playing an evil campaign is, not fun. I've played evil campaigns. They are fun. But at the same time, like, there's a difference between doing that in real life and doing that in D&D. Being a bad person in D&D is fun because it's a form of escapism. Doing bad things in real life is bad because it's a form of hurting people, and it's a form of, messing up the local economy. Anything that has any value, people have to pay to replace that stuff, It might not be you, it might not be anyone you know, but it will affect someone that you know. If you know at least 6 people, then it will affect someone that you know. If you only know 5 people, it might not affect someone you know. But if you only know 5 people in all of the people that you are able to communicate with, you have a really serious issue. Or you live in literally the middle of nowhere. Okay? Because let me do the math on you. Mother, father, husband / wife, your mother, father, your mother, your father, your significant other, maybe a child, and the mailman. Okay. I just listed 5 people. Mother, father, significant other, mailman, and a child. If you do not know that many people, then you kind of have bigger issues. Get out of my horse pen. It's my stable. Okay, I need to run over here. I need to grindstone these items in order to remove their enchantments because they have Curse of Vanishing. I will additionally take the opportunity to merge the 2 items together into one. Oh, it's actually not a half bad book. Punch 1, Piercing 3, Luck of the Sea 2, and Impaling 4. That would make a very good Trident enchantment. Because of the Impaling 4. I believe Impaling only goes up to 5 or 7. I think it's 5. Not very many enchantments go up beyond 5. And even then, I think the ones that I'm thinking of are likely modded enchantments, which raise the maximum enchanting level of things. Speaking of mods, if anyone knows of a mod similar to, better storage chests or applied energistics or Buildcraft for specifically Minecraft Bedrock Edition, I would actually enjoy hearing about those because I am interested in potentially starting up a separate series which I am able to upload on a semi-regular basis in order to allow myself the opportunity of of playing some modded Minecraft with some better storage options. I would love to have something similar to Applied Energistics 2, because I feel that would be extremely useful for me. Oh, cool. Flame 1, Power 3, Punch 1. I can merge it with that one. Or that one. That would upgrade the punch on that bow. Actually, I would upgrade the punch on my main bow. I shall need to consider that. I don't think I can actually upgrade my main bow currently, though, because I upgraded it too darn many times, and, well, now I can't upgrade the bow any further. It's too expensive. At least that's what it tells me. Deposit the clownfish, deposit the nautilus shell. Let me take the name tags, the string, and the tripwire hook over to the base. Additionally, I want to deposit the lily pad. Boop, 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 boop. Bouncing, 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 bouncing. One major benefit of me doing all of this fishing is that it has provided me the opportunity to allow my various surface farms to actually prosper and grow things, such as the pumpkin farm or this kelp farm over here, which I assume, yeah, it's doing decently well. Now, I'm sitting here, I'm smoking up all of this kelp into dried kelp in order to craft it into blocks of dried kelp, because I want to make lots of fuel. On top of that, I am actually able to get a lot of experience from this. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll let it build up. Now harvest. Nothing? There we go. Now I run over here. You know, I'm getting a lot of materials that are good for the fact that I'm trying to, get a better fishing rod. I'm trying to get a better bow. Stuff like that is, that's fine. But, like, the one thing I really need is mending. It's just the thing that I need the most. Yeah, see, that one's too expensive. That one is going to cost 11. That one's 12. Oh, this one has power 5 already. Never mind. Yeah, let's apply it to that. All of that experience spent only brought us down to level 30. Cool. Anyways, you know, the potential for losing villagers on the way back is decently high currently, partly because I don't have any maps leading to the nearby villages. I don't have a lot of territory explored. I'm just missing a lot of things that I need in order to transport villagers over such an extended range. And really the most vital thing that I could actually get right now is just a mending enchanting book. A mending enchantment book would do me wonders. Okay? If I had access to a villager, I would probably build a lectern for that villager and just keep on forcing them to reattune to the lectern. If the villager refuses to attune to the lectern, I suppose I would just need to move the villager until he's far enough away from everything that he will attune to the lectern. That being said, there are a lot of barrels around here, therefore I don't think that a lectern's going to be the best option. Because I think I would just need to actually, get the villager away from the base in order to make it so that they can properly... Okay, you always spawn with 2, so where's your second? I see. Possibly lost over here, huh? What was that? Just at random, I took half a heart of damage. Okay. Oh, cool. He dropped some copper. That will be useful. once I deposit all of this other stuff, because I need inventory space in order to hold stuff. I have a hunch I know where the other llama went. Are you up here, Mr. Llama? You are not. Are you over there? No. There you are. Okay. Now, if you were over there, why was your lead not attached? Did something happen to detach your lead? I am aware that I am technically allowing a Nautilus shell to risk despawning by looking for this possibly non-existent lead just laying on the ground somewhere. However, I felt that it was a worthwhile endeavor. Okay. Deposit the lily pads. Rest in the bed so that it's daylight and that zombies aren't spawning. Run down here, pick up the Nautilus shell. Swim over here. Kill this guy who ain't doing anything and actually is just causing massive particle effects. Got the feather. Did I not get the raw chicken? Guess not. I did, however, find this guy's pet. Therefore, away you go. You? Much better. Oh, right. Before I run off from the anvil again, let me access it. And then I want this one with this one? Yes. Okay, I can just throw the feather on the ground because I'm not going to use it for anything. Like, ever. The only thing I would have use for that feather is as an arrow. I've got an infinity bow. I don't need more arrows. I now have 2 backup fishing rods, however. One soon-to-be backup fishing rod that I am currently working on. In the process, I'm hoping to get a mending book out of all of this, because my God, are those things rare. I could do this with just lots of lapis and lots of books, but at the same time, I don't have that much lapis to spare. Like, that would take a lot of lapis. I don't have that much lapis. I do have inventory space for that. Why am I holding it? Why am I holding that one? Come to think of it. Oh, did I just accidentally throw that in the water? I did something with it. Where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, I did. And let me deposit this full health bow into there. It's not maxed out, but it's getting there. Yeah. A lot of Dungeons and Dragons is mostly just people trying to figure out how to interact with the types of things that they don't like. But a lot of it is also people interacting with the things they do like. People will like to, for example, make use of the fact that they can do alchemy in Dungeons and Dragons. Therefore, they'll have all kinds of ideas for potions, and sometimes they'll make all kinds of weird, crazy potions. Sometimes they'll make a lot of common sense stuff. They might just get an herbalist kit and just make healing potions. Or they might be like Dragonis did and just combine various types of dragon blood with a stabilizing agent and then offer it as a bottle of wine with weird, random, extreme effects. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, that's possibly legit. It's this horrifying concoction of just various types of dragon blood. It's like, how? But she managed, she rolled really well on her crafting checks to make it. She rolled really well on all of the harvesting to make it. She did decently well. She made a commendable effort, as it's known. Again, just randomly taking damage. No idea what from. No visible source or anything. Just randomly taking damage. I took like an entire heart of damage there. Or maybe that was my hunger I was looking at. Still, like, that is not the first time I have just mysteriously taken damage. Never even bothered checking what this guy had. Packed ice, pointed dripstone, vines, slime, cactus, brain coral. Decent trades, not interested. You know, if I wanted cactus, I have plenty of cactus from when I went out and traversed the desert whilst I was out looking for the various villages, which are kind of equidistant from my base. Like, all of the villages are the same distance, approximately. Give or take, like, 20 blocks. Which, for a village, is not much. That's like... Actually, that's kind of the span of the majority of some of these smaller villages, but, you know, it's still not much. Like, it's the distance covered in the entirety of a really tiny village. I mean really tiny. I'm talking like maybe 4 houses. Maybe less. I know that in order for a lot of these various situations to resolve, I'm going to need to find some way to access a regular supply of, like, a regular steady supply of materials. So far I have been mining pretty much all of my materials, which is kind of a good thing. You know, it means I'm self-reliant, means I don't need to worry about RNG, random number generation. But it additionally means that things